Hey, what's up everyone? Aaron Smith here. It's December 25th, 2020, Christmas Day. And so we're gonna go on a bicycle ride. We're in Gainesville, Texas. We're gonna go about 16 or 17 miles north of town. And so those of you who already know me know that I'm a right leg above the knee amputee. This is my artificial leg. We've got a prosthetic knee joint. And on my left leg right here, I've got a bunch of metal in it. And the reason for that is that I was in an automobile bicycle accident. Somebody tried to run me off the road. They actually tried to hit me. And so I was able to bail into the ditch, but I broke my leg, and that's how I got all that metal in there about 15, 16 weeks ago. So I'm pretty well recovered from that. Not 100%, but I'm back on the bicycle doing rides. And so here we go. I'm going to provide you guys with some virtual scenery. Those of you who either just want to watch this or want to have something that you can watch while you're indoors on your exercise machines, riding your bikes, Pelotons, stationary indoor trainers, elliptical machines, treadmill, whatever you want. You know, this is some good scenery. So I'm uploading it onto YouTube. Maybe I may upload a preview onto Facebook. This is one of the most common rides I do, this route. I do a lot of routes, but we're gonna get on gravel, and this is the fastest way to get on gravel, the way we're going. Hope y'all are having a Merry Christmas, or had a Merry Christmas by the time you watch this. Christmas will have come and gone. Counting today, we're 7 days out from the new year. A lot of my cyclist associates are adding up all the miles that they've ridden for this year and already bragging about it, which I'm tempted to do, but the way I see it, the year ain't over until the fat lady sings. Meaning it ain't here until January, until midnight, December 31st. So I could probably ride another 100 miles between now and then, maybe more, no problem. All right, we got some kiddos on their bikes. We got a bunch of big rocks in the road. Nice Christmas presents there. I'm sure they got new bikes for Christmas. Love to see the kids out on bicycles. Love to see the motorists paying attention and looking out for kids too. If they're not looking out for me, they're darn sure not looking out for children. So I want to make sure motorists do that. Remain aware of cyclists. Wouldn't want anybody to kill a child like that man tried to kill me. I believe he tried to kill me on purpose. But let's say he did it on accident. Well, he would have killed a child. If I had been a child in that same situation, he would have killed a child, you know. So in that sense, I'm glad it was me and not a child, because I was able to react and save my own life, whereas a child wouldn't have been able to do that. Yeah, it's about 56 degrees today. A little nippy. I've got an extra layer on my upper body. Lower body, I'm just wearing shorts. But that's okay, you know, really. It's not unusual for people to comment on on my consistent decision to wear shorts rather than long pants on cold days. But the fact is, since I'm missing the right leg above the knee, it, or what's left of it, is in a socket with socks. So it stays warm. And I've really only got one real leg to get cold. So it's about half the issue for me as it would be for those of you who have two real legs to freeze. There's a silver lining in every situation. The bike is sounding good, sounding quiet. I have been having a little trouble with some shifting. The chain kind of skipping a little bit on my last ride. It's not as big of a problem for me though, but if I was standing up while riding, then you have a big problem if your chain is skipping. If it skips while you're standing up riding, you can really go down. But I have my butt pretty well planted on the seat, even going up hills, just because when you're missing a knee, you really can't, you just can't stand up and ride the bicycle at the same time. You gotta stay seated. Which is why I make sure I have a good bicycle seat. It's another complaint I hear a lot is, oh, my bicycle seat hurts. I don't want to ride because my bicycle seat will hurt my butt too much. Well, you know, that's a problem I had to get around, because there's no standing up while I'm riding the bike. My butt's gonna be on that seat the whole ride, whether it's a 15-mile ride like this or a 135-mile ride like the one I did in April of this year. So I make sure I have a good seat. I don't waste my time complaining about a seat that's no good. If it's no good, I'll get a new one. It's that simple. You can either complain or you can do something about it. The choice tells you a lot about the person. If the person's gonna sit there and complain, then that's a complainer. If the person's gonna find a solution, get a seat that works, that's a solution finder. That's a problem solver. That's what I am. I'm a problem solver. But no problems today. Just sunshine and fresh air. Ladies and gentlemen, glad to have y'all along. Delighted to have y'all along on this virtual experience. Whew. So I've been doing this ride for 3 or 4 days in a row, this exact same route. Because I don't want to get too far from home during the holidays. While all the kids are out of school and everything, I've got responsibilities that will not let me leave for as long as I could leave. I could be out here all day on these roads riding. Would like to be, but we all have responsibilities. So this workout we're on, it's a luxury, it's a pleasure to be joined by you all. So we just hit the gravel, we've made it off the pavement, and now we're climbing uphill. Climbing. Keep them pedals moving, rawhide. Giddy up, rawhide. Oh man, I feel that burn. I hope y'all feel the burn. If y'all are on your indoor machines, be sure to turn up the resistance, because it hurts right now. Oh man. We're still climbing. Yeah, I bet the solar farm right next to us, right over here, is probably producing a lot of energy today, because although it's chilly, it is not cloudy. Finally about at the top of the hill, but it seems like right as we get to the top, we're dealing with a lot of washboarding. All these bumps on the road. They make you want to have a more cushioned seat, I'll tell you that. It's pretty bumpy. This bike, you know, it's got a shock in the front, but it's called a hardtail, meaning there's no shocks in the back. So you feel every bump in the road. Got a little dog right here. Looks like a Chihuahua. Chihuahua. Oh, you want to run after me? Okay, good luck. A valiant effort by a midget. That's okay. We're not worried about that. We're just worried about the big dogs that can do some damage. That's when we got to defend ourselves. Got an orange cat up here. Hey there, wild cat. Got a few orange cats that live right up and down the road right there, and they're always out on the road hunting in the ditch for mice and rats. Seems like every time I ride by here I see them. Haha. Now we're smoothing out a little bit. This gravel, you know, it's rough, but especially stuff that's just been dropped like this, but it just rained, and so it smoothed it out when the cars came and rode over it while it was wet. It's pretty nice now, as opposed to how it was a week ago before the rains came and packed it down. Got it wet so the cars and traffic could pack it down. All right, so we gotta watch for traffic right here. All right, we're clear enough. We can get across right now. If you're joining me virtually right now, then you're joining me on one of many rides that I either have uploaded or will upload onto the internet. So feel free to join me on this very same route on other days. Every day is a different experience. Boy, it was bumpy right there where we hit the gravel. We are climbing up this hill. But yeah, feel free to join me on this route on different days or other routes that are longer,
You can break them up into different sections, segments. I've done that actually with the ones that are long, really long. I may have videos that are hour and a half long, 3 or 4 part series, some of the longer rides, and then they're gonna get even bigger than that as I recover from this broken leg. But yeah, I decided to just better videotape everything because, as I've said in previous videos, the man who tried to kill me, you know, he was coming head on. I was right here on this side of the road, way over here. And what does he do? He comes over on this side, tries to hit me. So I had to bail in the ditch, you know, to my right. But, you know, when the sheriff's department got there, he lied and said that he said he was way over on the other side of the road and that I just fell into the ditch. So because I didn't have it on video, and because the sheriff's department didn't have the resources to even soundly investigate the evidence, they said it was my word against his. So I decided that I'm not gonna be in that situation in the future. If anything like that happens to me again, I'm gonna have it on tape. Then there won't be any question. So byproduct is that y'all get some good virtual footage, and I'm happy about that too. So I hope y'all feel as great right now as I do. Turn up your fans, because I'm going into a headwind, and that breeze, you know, it actually feels nice. Hope y'all got nice presents for Christmas, or treated yourself, or treated someone else. Christmas time is a special time of year, regardless of the circumstances of any of us or our country. It's just a time when we can find happiness despite our circumstances, and we can come together despite our distances and differences. And for one day, the world is a better place. Special time, Christmas. All right, we're about to the top of this hill. So now we've got a wind coming. You know, it does what it wants to do. It's a little bit in our face, and it's coming out of that direction. It's coming this way right now. So 5 minutes, it may be doing the exact opposite thing. But one thing I've learned is that you can't really just look at the news or the weather, current weather, and expect that to hold true for the day, whatever the forecast says. Once you get out there on your bicycle, the reality, more often than not, doesn't quite add up with the forecast. A lot of micro weather events, environments to deal with out here in reality on the road. Which is why, you know, as you watch this indoors, I may be watching it indoors too. I may be indoors exercising right now as you watch this. Just using the virtual scenery for a climate-controlled exercise session myself. I understand how important that is. But when we can't control the weather, when we can't go outdoors, those workouts are still really important. It's important for us as breathing air. They're as important for us as eating healthy, having plenty of fluids. This exercise, our body needs it. Our minds need it. Our health needs it. Needs the exercise. Our quality of life hinges on our decision to just do it, to just get it done. So whether you do it outside or inside, there's a big part of your body that just doesn't care. It just needs the exercise. However you get it done. So what you need is just to be inspired, stay inspired, get it done, make it a lifestyle. What else you got to do? Drink beer and watch TV? I mean, seriously. Ride your bicycle, do your exercise and watch TV. Make a compromise. Watch TV, but don't drink. Exercise. Drink water while you're exercising. Just stay healthy. Put you first. Put you first. You have the most to gain by putting in the exercise. So why wouldn't you do the exercise? Well, I'm feeling good. We're going uphill. The road's fairly smooth. Got a bit of a tailwind. Great Christmas Day. Haha. Great day to ride. Most people on Christmas Day, I don't know what most people are doing, but I haven't seen anybody out here driving yet. So that makes this a ideal bicycle riding day. Ideal day to make some stellar virtual exercise footage. Oh, I'm feeling that burn. This hill, it's not steep, but it's long and it's steady. We'll start going down once we get to the top of this curve here. Ha. All right. Now we've leveled out. We're going down a little bit. Pretty Red Angus cattle out there. If you're a farmer and a rancher locally watching this video, y'all should know that I too am a rancher. I raise cattle. And I am looking for land and just business opportunities with my registered Black Angus cattle. Right now, I'm looking for more land to raise them on, to lease. I'm also looking for people who want to buy bulls, registered Black Angus bulls. I've got to sell them pretty young Or, you know, I'm looking for places where I can raise my bulls and maybe sell them when they're older. But for now, I'm selling them while they're young and just castrating them. But they're all well-bred, registered Angus bulls, so they would be good herd sires. But yeah, I'm a cattleman, among other things. Truth is, I'm just a businessman, just a humble businessman. And I'm always looking for more places to put my cows, to raise them long term, like 5 years down the road. I want to be able to keep them on the property long enough so that they can have babies and go through a few generations of the life cycle of a cow. I'm a long-term seed stock producer, meaning I don't go to the sale barn and buy some cows and raise them for a few months and then take them back. I raise cows and keep them and keep their babies and breed them and make sure they multiply in numbers before I go to sell any. So that's what I'm looking for now, is long-term cattle leases, property leases. Like this field would be awesome. Have a field like this to put my cows in, especially if there's a water source like a pond or a well. All they need is that grass and the water, and then I take care of the rest. All right, enough about cows. If we see any more pretty cows, we might comment on what we see. Oh. We're going uphill. We're going to make an S. We're on the bottom of the S-shaped curve right now. And then once we get on the top of it, that is where we're gonna have to really climb and claw our way up this steep little hill. Those of you who've joined me on this route before know that this little hill is a steep one. It's not tall, but it is steep. And right now we've got washboarding on the right side, which makes it that much harder. I'm gonna try to stay pretty quiet so we can hear if any cars are coming behind over the top of the hill. We don't want to get smacked, but we need to get over here on this right side and navigate this bumpiness and washboarding. All right, I'm using the trekking pole right here. You can tell somebody was driving crazy. See those skid marks right there? They were burning rubber up this hill or down it, weaving back and forth. Glad we weren't here when that happened. I would have to guess more than likely that happened during the night, maybe last night. But we made it to the top of this hill, essentially. We're still leveling out. Now we're at the apex of the hill and we're starting to go down. Not the biggest hill on this route, but that's the steepest. This next one, we're gonna come up on in about 3/4 of a mile. It's the closest one to being comparable to this hill. It's a little steeper. I mean, a little less steep, but a little longer. And it can be just as difficult, or if not more difficult, depending on the surface of the road. The surface of the road plays a huge factor. right. Now I got a little downhill cruising to do. Giddy up, cowboy, keep them wheels a-rolling. Yep, I'm just a bicycle riding cowboy, ladies and gentlemen. Back in the old days, you know, you could ride anywhere on your horse. Just take off across the countryside. There were no fences. I would have to imagine the feeling that those cowboys felt had similarities to this. I am seeing the world as they saw it. Of course, even a cowboy, I'm a tall guy, 6'7", but even a short cowboy on a horse would have a higher vantage point than I do. But I'm on a extra large bike. Y'all are perched up here probably 8 inches above my eye level on my camera that's up on the helmet. So yeah, y'all getting a pretty, we're all getting a pretty good cowboy's perspective. Unfiltered through the windshield of an automobile or through the sounds of a modern combustion engine. But you know, we're getting our exercise. As a horseman myself, you know, that's how I lost my right leg. It's in a horse riding accident. The truth is, riding a horse isn't nearly as much exercise as riding a bicycle. Horse is doing the work. Yeah, you've got to do some work to hold on, not let go of that horse or fall off. But we are providing the engine and the power that's propelling us forward. And so we're getting an awesome exercise session, and we're getting to see our environment the way a cowboy would see it. Back in the olden days, modern cowboys, you know, they're just guys with belt buckles that go to stock shows these days. You know, the cowboy that existed 150 years ago no longer does exist. And what we're experiencing is our environments through a very similar lens. Thanks to modern conveniences like these county roads that exist. We can ride them through those once wild countrysides on this relatively smooth gravel through lands that are now privately owned on the only publicly accessible routes that wind and cross through them. Now we've got a headwind, but we are going downhill. It's a nice little area right here, very sheltered, very wild, far away from anybody. Which is a double-edged sword. The isolation of this location makes it enjoyable right now until something goes wrong. Until somebody comes speeding around the curb or comes down here to do a drug deal or do something they're not supposed to do or dump trash. It's an enjoyable place until you run into people doing that, which of course does happen. All right, we are going uphill now. Boy, whoever made those skid marks up ahead, they did it here too. They were really driving crazy last night or earlier this morning. Came out here and just peeled out. Tore up the road. All right. Now we're really climbing. We're really climbing, but I'm gonna stay quiet, y'all, because I want to hear if anybody's coming around this turn or up behind me. Just need to be quiet. It's kind of a dangerous section of road because it's low. Inability to see around the corners. We're clear up ahead. I don't hear anything behind us, but we're gonna stay fairly quiet. See, somebody came out here and dumped this trash. You know, why would they do that? Why not just find a dumpster in town and do it? Well, I don't know. Maybe they're from Oklahoma and they just want to be disrespectful to Texas. And that's a large percentage of what I see here. It's people from Oklahoma. They just hate Texans. They want to break Texas law, and they just come over here and dump trash just to send a message to Texas that these people dumping this trash from Oklahoma don't respect our laws or us or our land. I've actually caught people doing it. You know, argue all day long, but I have caught people in the act from Oklahoma out here dumping trash in Texas. We're in Texas. We are climbing hard, putting a lot of force into this climb. It's a long, semi-steep hill. Yeah, when this year is over, I'll have gone close to 5,000 miles, somewhere between, you know, we know Strava has already GPS tracked me at about 4,600 miles for this year, for 2020. But there have been several rides, including a 90-mile ride where I didn't have GPS or Strava turned on at all. So I'm estimating we got anywhere between 200 and 500 miles over the course of the entire year that I did not track with Strava. So we have 4,600 proven documented miles that I've covered so far this year. We've got 7 days of riding to go, and then we've got that extra 200 to 300 miles maybe 500, I don't know, but I will finish the year out with close to having gone 5,000 miles, which is further than I've ever gone in a year. And I'm proud of that because, you know, I did break my my left leg. I broke it, broke the ankle, had one of the most complex ankle fractures that a human being can have. It was a dangerous touch and go situation at first. If I would have got an infection, then I would have probably lost the lower leg. But luckily, I was able to get a good doctor who was very careful, meticulous, and he did everything right. And the gods were smiling down on me and his work. And I got to not only keep my left leg, but here we are 15, 16 weeks after the surgery, and we're out here riding. So he did about as good of a job as could have been done. But I've got this metal plates and screws still in there, and I still have swelling and issues related to that, which we may have to take care of at a later date. But for now, I'm just grateful to be able to be out here with you all, creating this virtual experience. Having a prosthetic side over on the other side, you know, that leg obviously can't generate much force. It can't generate any force. All that powers it is what's left of the real leg that's attached to the prosthetic leg. But I love it. I love being out here. This bicycle for me is a window to the world. And although there are people who, you know, discriminate and don't recognize it as a federally protected mobility device like it is, it is a federally protected mobility device. I can use it to do a lot more things than just riding out here. Like, why would I sit in a wheelchair if I can ride this bicycle to get somewhere? That's the reasoning. It's not causing any harm to anyone. It's not a modern combustion engine getting off noxious fumes, even in a building. If I can keep control of my speed, my balance, then this bicycle is a really easy way to get around that doesn't take nearly as much energy to get around as a wheelchair, and isn't nearly as stigmatized as a scooter. You know, a scooter, a lot of people use those scooters. You see them riding around Walmart, people riding around on those scooters in Walmart. You know, that's all fine and good, but what if you want to get exercise, empower yourself? There's bicycles are a huge untapped resource by the disabled community. Yeah, I've tapped it, but it would do a lot better, a lot more good for America if more disabled people decided to use bicycles to get around instead of scooters. You know, you're using your arm power with a wheelchair, and even though I'm missing, you know, I've got a damaged leg and a missing leg, I can still create more power with what's left of my legs than I can with my arms, my fully functional arms. So why would anybody turn away from that if they had it as an option? Well, the federal government says you don't have to. They say that's a bicycle is a legitimate mobility device. If you have a mobility disability, like missing a leg, and you can ride a bike, well, then the federal government's going to protect that right. So you may go into some place and somebody may say, oh, you can't ride a bike in here. Well, that person doesn't know what they're talking about. That person doesn't know federal law. You can ride your bike, and And you can sue that person or that company that tells you you can't for a lot of money just to get your right to do what you're entitled to be able to do. You're entitled to be able to ride your bike and use it as a mobility device if you have a mobility disability. We're climbing, but we're leveling out, still going into a headwind. Yeah, the wind's coming out of the south. It was coming out of the north yesterday. Oh man, I forgot to turn on my GPS, so we haven't even been tracking this ride so far, so that's what I'm talking about. That's why I've got 300 to 500 miles of undocumented road coverage, undocumented miles that I've covered this year, because I keep forgetting to turn on my GPS when I go for a ride. So now I just turned it on. We've probably already gone 10 miles. And I'm at ground zero according to my GPS tracking. But we got it on video. Y'all know we've been riding. We are going into that headwind. We're about to get some relief because we're going to turn right here. Well, it's still a headwind. It's coming out of the southwest, so that direction, that's where the wind's coming in from. Not too bad though, not too bad. Boy, Christmas Day, it's a day to ride your bicycle, y'all. Very low traffic. Very little traffic. All right, let's pump up this hill, y'all. Come on, just work it. It's not easy right here. If you're not feeling a burn and you don't have the resistance turned up enough on your machine. So let's go, come on, come on. Ha, ha, ha. Almost there, almost there. Now we're leveling out. Yeah, we're there. Nice thing about that hill is it's smooth, it's paved. So you know you've got a smooth push to the top. Whereas all that gravel, you may have mud and big old rocks and loose rocks and washboarding, all kinds of issues slowing you down. A lot of songbirds. A lot of songbirds migrating through here right now, especially robins, red robins. I was hearing them and seeing them in the trees along the side of the road back there. I keep seeing them. Uh-oh, we got a dog. No, that's... I'm sorry, y'all. I thought this fire hydrant was a dog just sitting there watching me. That's not the case. Gotta keep your eyes peeled for dogs out here. Gotta be ready for anything. Could be a dog, could be a coyote with rabies. You never know. Just gotta be ready. Ready to fight, ready to win, ready to not be a victim. Now we go right. Now we can kind of relax a little bit because we're gonna barrel down this hill and we don't need any extra speed, so just kind of hang back and stay safe. All right, now we can start putting in the energy. Now we can start working. From here on out, we are going to be climbing for the next 3/4 of a mile. we are powering up a steep hill, y'all. Let's not fall asleep. Let's put in that work, turn up that resistance. Let's give this hill the respect it deserves. Putting our full effort into making it to the top. Come on, y'all, let's go. Let's put in a full effort. Almost there. I want to see 100% out of y'all. Come on, let's go. Let's feel that burn. If you don't feel it yet, you're not pedaling hard enough. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, we're starting to level out. And now we're at the top. Ah. For those of you who are still with me, you know, I've just been lost in my own thoughts for a while. I hope y'all been able to do the same and enjoy this scenery. We're going up a hill against the wind right now. As I said when the ride started, it's about 55, 56 degrees. Christmas Day. I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas while I've got you here. It's been an unusual year, 2020. 2021 may be an even more unusual year. I think this year has set a lot of things into motion that may never stop. Some of those things are good, some of them are bad. They could all be bad, all good, depending on how you look at it from your perspective. One thing I do know is there is a much higher demand for bicycles than there was before this pandemic started. And that makes sense. They are really a perfect social isolating exercise machine. You can get out there away from everybody. What do we only see, like 2 cars back there the whole time? Maybe a car and a truck. So you still get out on these public roads when your gym is closed or dangerous or an infection hub. It's just, I'll put it this way. I was looking on the Trek website. You know, this bicycle's a Trek. Can't buy a Trek right now. They're back ordered. This is how back ordered they are. Like Trek, the company Trek has 1 million bicycles on back order right now, y'all. So that means they're not even going to catch up with the orders they already have until probably a year from now. If everything continues to go like it's going now, it could get worse. But if I wanted to get a bike like this, I wouldn't be able to buy it new. Have to find it used from somebody, some private salesman, private citizen. But yeah, Trek, they have 1 million bicycles on back order. That means they've got to make bicycles that have already been ordered before they can sell to the public, before they can advertise and put bicycles on the shelf. So the way I calculate it, if each one of those bicycles sells for $1,000, that's $1 billion worth of bicycles that they've already got the money. They just have to fulfill the orders. So does that make me happy? I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna ride my bike regardless of whether or not other people do. But I'm glad more people will be able to enjoy this type of workout experience. I hope they'll stick with it. A lot of people may not have a choice but to stick with it if this COVID thing keeps going. It's either going to be get on your bike or nothing. No more options that are safe. Safe from a virus standpoint. The thing about the bike is you're getting out somewhere where you're away from the virus. Whereas these social workout facilities, gyms, track meets, football games, basketball games, all that social stuff, you're putting yourself in close proximity to people. Then it becomes a numbers game. What are your odds? Your odds, every person that you don't know that shows up, you don't know where they've been, every single person statistically increases your odds catching that damn virus and having to deal with all the stigmas that come along with it, or the possible realities that you may be genetically predisposed to suffer from that virus, or your grandma might be in danger because of you, because you decided to go do something other than riding a bike. So all these new trends that may permanently change the landscape, maybe not. I think they should permanently change the landscape, because y'all, we really dodged a bullet with coronavirus, because it's not very deadly, but it's deadly enough to get people to change their ways. Some people are just so dumb they're never going to change their ways, but it kind of lets you know. It's like an eye-opener, like how would people react if it really was 90% deadly? A lot of people would react exactly the way they've reacted to this virus, so it's a good teaching tool for those of us who want to learn, improve our lives, our situations moving forward. Now we made it to the top of this hill. Doing good, y'all. We're still going into a headwind, but it's not bad. And now we're going downhill. Ha. Problem with all these bicycles is that that million bicycles that's on back order, they're all being made in Taiwan or China, so it's not helping our economy beyond that bicycle company that's outsourcing all the labor to foreign countries. Be nice if they could be all built here, but I'm sure they would if they could, but then that would cost the end consumer more, because everybody's got to get a higher paycheck than they get over in those third world countries like China. China's not a third world country, but in a lot of ways it is. If you're a worker in a factory building a bicycle, you're not going to get paid as much as you would be guaranteed here. So in that sense, it is third world. Alright, we're on pavement now. Technically, this pavement would be smoother and better if it was just gravel, because at least you can maintain a gravel road. Once it's paved, the only way you can maintain it is to come back and repave it, fill in potholes. You can't really give it an overall facelift like you can with gravel road. All right, I'll climb this little embankment to the railroad. Got to go kind of slow over the railroad. You don't want to run your tires parallel to that track, or a tire could slip down in that groove and you fall down. So you want to go perpendicular to the railroad when you're riding over it with a bicycle. That's the safest way to get across and not have a crash. If you go parallel, you'll fall down in that groove, and then you can't, once you do that, you can't get out. You're gonna fall. Here we go, crossing the railroad. Perpendicular, the wheel goes perpendicular to the tracks. All right, we made it across. Here's the sale barn. Hey there, cows. The little bull. So now we just got to power through this headwind all the way home. I do hope Santa Claus was good to y'all last night. Some people are on tighter budgets because of this pandemic. That doesn't mean Santa Claus forgot you. There's a lot of thoughtful presents that don't cost a lot. I hope you're cared about. I hope you care about you. Or I hope others care about you. And I hope that Christmas was a time to celebrate that. y'all doing? Good. Whoa! Get back! 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 I didn't see that one coming, y'all. I didn't see it coming. That one almost got me. Almost got me. Yeah, that one came up on my rear leg side. I wasn't ready for that. He was right there before I could have much time to react. Luckily, he didn't get me. That's the worst deal, is when you're not prepared at all, when they just come out of the blue. So he didn't get us. We're okay. We're almost done. We've gone about 16 miles. So y'all just start spinning, pedaling slow. Just cool down.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. All right, everyone, we're done. Merry Christmas.